Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to prime time, bitch. Hey, I didn't say it. Freddy said it first. As you can tell, tonight's episode is about Freddy Krueger and also about some of the facts of Freddy Krueger and a little bit of the backstory of how Wes Craven came up with this idea for Nightmare on Elm Street. Hello. I would have to say that one of the coolest things about Freddy is that he cannot be killed. Freddy is an entity. He's a demon. I don't know if most of you knew that. I mean, we all knew he was quite fucking naughty, right? You naughty. Anyways, yes, he's a demon because before Freddy was killed by a vigilante mob of the Springwood citizens as a human, the dream demons appeared to him and offered him a deal involving him to become their agent in exchange for vast power and forever, meaning he could never die. Freddy accepts the deal and the demons merge with him, giving him his powers. Freddy's secret, yes, Freddy has a secret. His birth was product of multiple rapes on his mother, Amanda, which is very, very, very sad. But it's a little bit how evil was created in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was evil from the get-go. Freddy's fears are fire and the lack of fear from others as it makes him weak. He also does not like to be pulled out of the dream world because he doesn't have as much power in the real world. He has power when we give it to him. So, okay, a lot of people didn't know that Freddy was born in 1942 and he was burnt alive in 1968, making him only 26 years old at the time of his death in his real life. Freddy had a wife, Loretta, who he actually strangled, which is quite weird. It's kind of a cop-out, Freddy. Strangulation? Seriously? Come on, man. Freddy also had a daughter named Catherine, who you later see in, I don't remember which one it is, 4? Freddy has many abilities. He is omnipotent inside the dream world, a little bit weakened when he's pulled outside of the dream world into reality, unless you are fearful of him. Your fear literally powers him. It's like a battery. We're literally charging the fucking dude. Okay, his abilities are transformation, super strength, telekinesis, and regeneration. Pretty sure he like flies up out of the water on Freddy vs. Jason. Am I right? I think I'm right. So I think he can fly too. Like he can do pretty much whatever. You know, if he thinks it, he can do it. Freddy is known for being able to terrorize kids in their dreams. He based off of what their fears are, and then he kills him. He's kind of a bitch like that. You know what I mean? Like, whatever the fuck scares you, that's what he uses to kill you. And I think it's because that's the way he was killed. Fire has actually always been one of his fears, even in his human life, and he was burnt alive. Technically, they didn't go there to burn him. They actually just wanted to chase him out of the boiler house or boiler plant that he had locked himself in, but they took it a little bit too far and the whole thing burnt down and Freddy burnt up with it. I told you about the demons, right, yep, and his fears. The disease that is mentioned a lot, or that this is kind of based off of, is actually, well, there's actually two. Narcolepsy, which is a sleeping disorder, and sleep paralysis, which is also a sleep disorder. A very, very scary one. Both of them are very scary. Narcolepsy is where people fall asleep often without warning in the middle of doing just random things. I mean, even driving. They can be driving and just their brain tells them to go to sleep. So it's a little bit scary. Sleep paralysis is when you are already sleeping, but you awaken, but you cannot move because the brain has not, you're still kind of sleeping. Your brain hasn't sent out the message to everything saying that you're awake. So you're laying there wide awake, you're mentally alert, but your body, everything else is still sleeping. So those nerves haven't passed on the message. You know what I'm saying? It's really scary, especially when you're still half asleep in a dream state and you see this big creepy shadow at the end of your bed and it's coming up to you and you can't scream, you can't move, you can't blink, you can't cry, you can't do nothing. It's fucking freaky. Totally freaky. I wanted to get into a little bit of the backstory about Wes Craven. Wes Craven actually came up with this idea. It's loosely based off of some men that came to America from Cambodia. They fought in the Vietnam War, I believe it was. And when they came over to the United States, they were complaining of horrific nightmares. And one of the guys, he actually told his family he was fearful to go to sleep because whatever was chasing him, whomever or whatever was chasing him in his dreams, was going to catch him and kill him. And so that's why he didn't want to sleep. In fact, he didn't sleep for many days. And then he, of course, finally fell asleep, and he, in fact, did die in his sleep. So that was in the papers, I believe in the 70s, like 1974 or something like that. And that is where Wes Craven loosely got the idea for Nightmare on Elm Street. It truly is terrifying to know that, you know, all these men were complaining about the horrific dreams, and they all were kind of, it was all very similar. Something or someone or whatever was chasing them, trying to get them in their dreams. And as far as we know, just the one guy died. There may be more. I didn't see that when I researched a little bit earlier. I'll research more on it later, but I do know there was a group of men that were complaining about these nightmares and stuff like that. So then Freddy's claw, which, you know, at the time, okay, we already had Michael Myers and we had Jason Voorhees, who had their pick of knives, which are terrifying. They're both terrifying. They're both some of my favorite slashers. Obviously, Freddy is my favorite slasher slash villain horror, you know. Freddy and Jason and Michael Myers are definitely next on that list. So they have the knives, which was horrifying. Their whole persona is just fucking spooky as hell. This was made, the idea of this was made because of Wes Craven's fear of his own cat's claws. And really late at night knife infomercials. He took the two and came up with the glove. And this is one of the things that makes Freddy one of the most scary, traumatizing villains, slasher, whatever, of all time. It's the thought of his hand being knives, claws, you know? So that is very terrifying. I thought that was a really cool thing, that what Wes Craven did there. And I thought I read somewhere a long time ago, I could be mistaken, but Wes Craven used to keep a little journal on his bedside. And a lot of, especially like Wes Craven's New Nightmare, I believe it was, a lot of the stuff in there, I think he actually dreamt. Like he had dreams and then would sort of write the script for the movie, which is absolutely fucking terrifying. Can you imagine having dreams like that? And then waking up just to write it down and be like, oh, this will be a great part in my movie. I'd have to check myself into the psych ward because I'd be a little fucking cuckoo. Those are some scary things. Freddy has scared me for decades, but I absolutely love him because there's so many reasons. But I think the comedy that Robert Englund brought to Freddy's character, it's the laugh, it's the demeanor, it's the punchlines, welcome to primetime, bitch. Or, gosh, he had so many. What were some of the other ones? 1, 2, guess who's coming for you? You know the song. I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy. Or I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul, too. Those are all great lines. He had so many of them all throughout the decades. I believe there is 9 Freddy movies all together in the franchise. And I don't know if that includes the remake or not. I know a lot of people were truly upset by the remake. I thought it was a really good movie. Obviously, in my heart, nobody else can play Freddy Krueger like Robert Englund. Robert has come out and told everybody that he will no longer be playing Freddy due to his age and his arthritis and things like that. It's really hard for him to do the active scenes, fighting scenes, whatever, stuff like that. He just can't do it anymore, and I totally respect the shit out of him for just being truthful with all of his fans. Excuse me. I do, however, think that William Dafoe or Kevin Bacon would make an excellent replacement for Robert Englund, because I believe that Freddy needs to continue. Freddy Krueger needs to keep going. He needs to keep terrifying more, because it was amazing. What he brought to the horror genre was just incredible. And I think Freddy's on board with it, or not Freddy, but Robert Englund is on board with somebody else playing him too. I think he actually said he would like to see Kevin Bacon. And, you know, the body type is the same. Kevin's got a little bit of that flair to him that I think he could really make Freddy basically kind of how Robert did. So hopefully they figure something out there, because like I said, Freddy needs to continue. I'm not ready to just let this go. But so yeah, I think I have mentioned pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, let me know in the comments which Nightmare on Elm Street was your favorite out of the 9. I would have to say the first one and the third one kind of have my heart. I loved Freddy vs. Jason due to the fact that I love Jason Voorhees too. I know the whole backstory, absolutely love it. I love how they combined the two. I love how the two kind of hate each other, the quarreling back and forth. It was so fucking comical. I also like the fact that they kind of teamed up a little bit there too. So yeah, it was a great movie. Let me know in the comments which one was your favorite, and anything else you want to let me know. Write it in the comments. Thanks for joining this session. I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry it wasn't, you know, too much like truthful stuff, or it was mostly fiction. But a lot of people didn't know that Freddy was actually loosely based, or Nightmare on Elm Street was loosely based on true events, which is, it gives me the chills. Oh, also, Fredward over here, my sidekick, my boo-boo, bring him with everywhere I go. I really don't, I'm not that fucking weird. But he's on set with me all the time. Fredward is actually named after Freddy. Y'all know Freddy. Fred, Freddy, Frederick Charles, whatever name you want to call him. Springwood Slasher, that's what he was known as. So, yeah, let me know in the comments, like I said, which one of Freddy's 9 movies was your favorite. Also, who is your favorite horror villain slash slasher? I want to know. I hope that you liked the session, and I'll see you next time. Or maybe in your dreams.
If food don't kill you, service will. The usual. My favorite. Eeny, meeny, miny. You little meatball. I love soul food.
Freddy.